to talk to you a little bit about, kind of for lack of a better word, just a crisis in Kansas public education. We talk about it at KPI a lot, we write about it a lot, but to me, it kind of transcends policy debate and budget lines, which is what you deal with a lot at Kansas School Board Resource Center. And it's a literacy crisis, which is affecting more than 150,000 students who right now are struggling with just basic reading skills. And I know it's not just reading, but to me, as a mom with kids in grade school, middle school, high school, um, having a child that is struggling just with their basic reading skills, even if they're behind, 6 months or a grade level, it's not a statistic anymore. It's a really big wake up call, and it's concerning. So I'm hoping that, by kind of talking about this and asking some hard questions and sharing data that is real, we can kind of just spotlight some of the voices that you've worked with and the voices within our own organization that are calling for change and what that change needs to look like in order for it to take effect. It's not just a talking point. So
I will tell you that as a former educator, I was a public school teacher in English. I mean, I taught all those classes that nobody wanted to take, freshman, and nobody wanted to teach is, also like freshman English. And I've talked about this quite often when I've gone out and, spoken to different groups is it's rarely that a day goes by, and that seems like an exaggeration, but it's really not. I mean, I think of this student often. But it's rare that I don't think about the student who showed up in my freshman English class. I was a new teacher. He sat at the back of the class and was known for being kind of a troublemaker, behavior problem. Well, I learned pretty quickly he couldn't read, and he was in ninth grade English. There was no way he was going to be successful. He'd been passed on
it's
every single
heartbreaking.
year
Yeah,
prior to that. So you're exactly right. I mean, we talk about statistics. We provide a lot of really good data for school board members, for parents, for interested individuals, who are saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? We produce a lot of data, but what we know is behind every single one of those data points is a student. And I've had those students in my classes, and it's heartbreaking. And, to see them, just as you said, if they fall behind, they struggle continually. And many times that is acted out in some kind of a behavior problem. They just can't be
absolutely.
successful. They feel like a failure. And so that's just, from there come all these ripple effects in this individual's life so that they finally graduate. Some of them do graduate and they're still functionally what we call functionally literate. And then they go out and they're unable to secure a job or advance in a job because they just don't have the skill set that they needed in order to be able to advance in their career or to really provide a living that they're able to support their family.